Yeah, so the Amex Gold Card is a fan favorite for a lot of people for many, many years. It's the poster child for American Express. And for the most part, a lot of people regard the Amex Gold Card as the ultimate king food credit card. And Bob Dylan said it best, but the times, they are a-changin'. And that couldn't be more true for American Express right now. So in this video, I wanted to talk about my thoughts and my predictions on just exactly what's going to happen to this specific card going forward, considering the earnings call where American Express mentioned 40 different credit cards in their lineups are going to be changed in 2024, which seems to be every single Thursday this year so far has had some major changes. Like a few Thursdays ago, we had the whole Hilton revamp. About a couple weeks ago, we had the Delta revamp. On this recent Thursday, we had lifetime language changes on the Morgan Stanley card and the Amex Green card, right? So every single Thursday, it seems like they're changing something. So which Thursday this card is going to fall on, who really knows? But let's go into exactly what I think is going to happen to this card and if I would keep it or cancel it at those points. All right, Gold, you got to go over here for right now, okay? Sleep tight. Now for the changes that I am predicting, right? So for this card, currently it has an annual fee of $250, and it's been that way for quite a long time now. Now most spaces of the internet are going to tell you that they assume that the Amex Gold Card is going to raise to about $375, just a hair under what the Amex Business Gold Card is currently. And we do know that the Amex Business Gold also was raised about $100 from its previous annual fee just a couple weeks prior. So do I think that based on all the changes we've seen so far that the Amex Gold Card will follow suit? Well, maybe not necessarily $125 or $150 change, but I could quite literally see an easy $100 increase to $350 every single year to hold that card open. The reason I say that is because we have one comparable to draw, which is the Delta Platinum card. It went from a $250 annual fee to $350, and then it added a whole assortment of credits that I think will be comparable to what we do see on this card, but we'll go into it. So while I think 375 does kind of make sense, I could also see a world with 350 alone, which I do think is a more attractive number to some people as far as marketing goes. 375 is kind of inching closer to 400, more than likely to put it to 350, so it doesn't seem like that crazy of a hit, but of course, I could be wrong. Now what about credits, right? The daily coupons that everybody likes to say. So basically, right now, you're getting $10 every single month towards Uber, so that could be used towards Uber Rides or Uber Eats, and then another $10 a month for dining credits, which is usually to be used at Grubhub, but there's a few other restaurants you could use it with directly. Now, man, I really hope this doesn't happen, but it almost seems like the writing is on the wall with the Delta card revamp, right? The Delta cards just got revamped, and now they have what's called Resy Credits. So now if you're unfamiliar, Resy is a booking platform for restaurants that American Express bought not that long ago. And basically you are meant to use the card to pay at those Resy restaurants, and wham bam, now you got your credits back, your Resy credits. Which is different than like the dining credits that can be only used towards Grubhub or just a few select restaurants, right? So it's kind of more relaxed, but it's also not at the same time. Now what I wouldn't be surprised to see is if the Uber Eats credit stays completely the same, so same $10 every single month, Uber Eats, whatever. But the dining credit, I almost feel as though Amex is thinking like, hey man, we're leaving money on the table. I mean, if we just give them, instead of a dining credit towards these, different things, let's just give them the same $10 every single month, or maybe even they bump it up to $20. I wouldn't be surprised to see a $20 a month Resy credit for the Amex Gold Card in the future. But now it's towards Resy restaurants, right? And of course, if we own that, we also get a cut of all the revenue that the Resy restaurants make, and they're booking it with our cards, which we also make a transaction fee. So it's almost like, oh, we're leaving money on the table because that money's coming back to us anyway if it's in Resy, and not necessarily if it's in Grubhub or what have you. So that's the second prediction, is Uber stays the same, but we might get a little bump on the dining credits, but it's going to turn into Resy credits. Now, who really knows? Maybe it's far-fetched, but I don't think it's necessarily out of left field for American Express, and I think it's somewhat likely that that does happen. Now, one little trick that was mentioned in our Discord by Kiki Adventures, and if you want to join that Discord, it's linked in the description below, but Kiki also found out that she went to just a Resy restaurant that's on the Resy app. She actually bought a gift card with her Delta cards, and it did code towards that Resy credit. So theoretically, you can Hilton surpass it, so to speak, and just build up an assortment of Resy gift cards over time, and then you could use them all on one, restaurant, one lavish, restaurant stay that you and your spouse go to, right? Theoretically, you could do that instead, and some people might find value in that. Do people necessarily want to whip out, maybe 10 Resy gift cards to pay for one meal? Is it a bad look? Maybe. Just maybe a little bit, but I would do that, okay? I would. So those are like my hard-pressed predictions, and ones that I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Now, some ones that are a little bit less talked about and ones that probably won't happen is, again, looking at the Delta refresh, right? Look at the Delta Platinum card and how it got, rideshare credits, it got Resy credits, and it also got hotel credits, right? Now, I wonder if hotel credits might be a thing. Because, well, think about it, right? If you're unfamiliar, the Amex Gold Card actually has access to the hotel collection, which is an assortment of hotels that are all within one portfolio that Amex has partners with, right? And then the Amex Platinum card has FHR and the hotel collection, but the Amex Gold Card does have access to the hotel collection. Now, I also wouldn't be surprised if we were to see some sort of a credit coupon towards the hotel collection properties, because if you're also unfamiliar, the hotel collection, to be able to book it, requires a 2-stay minimum. Thus, even if they're generous and they give you a $100 hotel collection credit, you still gotta book 2 nights, and those properties are usually a little bit higher end, so probably minimum out of pocket after taxes and fees, you're paying $400 to be able to reap the benefits of a $100 credit, right? Thus makes the hotel more money, Amex more money, and oh, we're giving you something, right? Right, Anthony? We're giving you a $100 hotel credit. That's substantial, right? So I think that is something that I don't necessarily think that will happen, but I would not be surprised. And I don't think anyone else has thought about that yet. I don't know. Maybe I'll give that like a 30% chance that could come to fruition. Who really knows? Now, before we go any further, just to list out exactly what we have in my predictions. So, Venture Prediction says a $350 annual fee, a $10 Uber Eats credit, $20 Resy credit towards, Resy restaurants, and then also maybe a $100 credit towards the hotel collection via the Amex Gold Card, right? So theoretically, if you are, for some reason, able to use all of these credits with ease, that's $360 in food credits, and then also another $100 in hotel credits, equaling about $460 in credits that you'd be able to get back on the Gold Card. But that also means the caveat of, well, you're going to have to book 2 nights at that hotel, and you're going to have to actually go to a Resy restaurant, which again are sometimes a little bit higher level depending on the city that you live in. Sometimes you could have low level Resy restaurants, but sometimes high level. Thus makes more money for the whole matrix that is American Express. And I don't know about you guys, but if I got a $100 hotel collection benefit credit on my Amex Gold Card, I'd never use it. Never. It would be as useless as the Chase Sapphire Preferred's $50 hotel credit. Both of them will be equally as useless to me. So maybe in that case, $375 or $395 annual fee actually makes sense. And I guess varying whether or not they give you $20 towards Resy or $10 towards Resy. Either one. Most likely it's $10, right? And for bonus pack multipliers, I can't necessarily see any changes in that. I still see the 4x for supermarkets, 4x for dining, and 3x for travel. I don't really see a change with that. Just because if you do anything, like if you broaden the travel category, well, now you cannibalize the Amex Green Card. If you add a hotel category, well, now you cannibalize the Amex Platinum card booking through the portal, right? So there's a few things that they would step on each other's toes if they were to add. So I think with the Gold Cards where it's at is probably not going to change in that way. But what are my thoughts? As somebody who has basically staked their life on the Amex Gold Card, Team Classic Gold, by the way, not Rose Gold. Ew, CJ, ew. Well, they're kind of gross. Just make sure she doesn't get the Amex Rose Gold card. That is the ugliest card of the world. I'm sorry, CJ.
I went with Rose Gold. Yeah.
But for those of you who, follow the channel, I've had this card, lived and breathed this card for many, many years. If I were to see these changes that I predict, it's very, very likely that it would just totally be not worth it. Because still, Grubhub is useful to me. The Resy restaurant's probably not as useful to me. I don't go out to eat as often as I would use a Grubhub, like once a month, right? So that would already kind of ruin a lot of the value that I already get back on the Amex Gold Card, and especially during this time where I'm just, using a lot of other cards other than the Amex Gold Card. If it did raise the annual fee to that, it's very likely you see a just immediate cancellation video from me. But that's only considering my situation, since I'm rinse and repeating ink cards for the welcome offers, etc. But if I wasn't doing that, I would still keep the Amex Gold Card open if all of these changes actually happened. Because think about it, even if you're a person that spends, I don't know, $600 every single month towards supermarkets or even dining out, that is what, $7,200 every single year towards the food category times 4, which would actually give you what? Let's see, quick math. Is it $28,800? I don't know if I'm correct. But if it is $28,800, theoretically you're getting back at minimum $280 worth of value, which easily cuts into that annual fee heavily. And of course more if you're transferring it out to travel partners and what have you. But if you're somebody that's actually scared of those changes, then you would actually cancel immediately if you saw that raise of annual fee and all those different benefits. So if you were looking to get an Amex Gold Card anyway, now might be the time. So what you could always do is scan the QR code right here, go into your photos, hold the button down, the QR code will take you to my direct referral link for the Amex Gold Card, and at least you have a guaranteed $250 annual fee and all the credits associated currently. And even if the changes happen down the line, American Express is still honoring that $250 annual fee, at least for the next year. And you might actually be able to double dip the credits and benefits that get changed on it, but that's another story. But let me know down below what you guys want to see or what you predict the Amex Gold Card is going to look like as soon as these changes are actually out. But let me know your thoughts down below, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you.